Guys Sports Podcast, episode number 200. Insane. From what we started out this show because me and Jared were at ESPN New Hampshire, and then they rebranded the whole station, so we were out. We weren't doing any more shows. On our Sunday, me and Jared would do the Sunday morning show. That was out the window. Me and Jared wanted to continue doing shows together. And we were like, let's just start a podcast. So we started it. We started originally the Loose Change podcast with Ross. And then Ross is our guy. We love Ross. Ross couldn't do the show anymore. So then we brought on Lauren. I think while Lauren was with us, we went from Loose Change podcast to the Couch Guy Sports podcast. And we did that because Loose Change somehow was in connection to a 9/11 conspiracy theory podcast. So we were like, we're not going to do that anymore. So we changed the name of Couch Guy Sports Podcast, started bringing on Al as, I would say, like a semi-regular coming in.
A fill-in. Fill-in, I think, is an appropriate term.
And now Al's just a main focus point of this show. Al is a main character of this show. And here's the thing. Tonight it's just me and Al for episode 200. No Jared.
Thanks, Jared.
No Jared. I don't even really know the reason why. But he couldn't do the show tonight, so no worries. No worries, just me and Al. And honestly, for episode number 200, there's really not too much news going on in the world.
Hey,
Boston sports.
Hey, Quags, you remember when you said we were going to do something special for that? How well does that look now?
Oh, my God.
Remember, I knew it. You and Jared were like, oh, don't worry about it. We're going to do something big. It's going to be great. And I'm sitting there like, okay, you're not going to do anything, are you?
It was like yesterday, I was like, oh, shit. This is episode 200.
Yeah.
And at that point, we probably could have gotten somebody on, but it's just a nice time with me and Al.
The Nick and Al show. I like
the
it.
Nick and Al show. And we got NBA trade deadline stuff coming up this week. And this is something that I am very excited to talk about. Because Celtics fans, babes, I love you. But Jesus, you're giving me the same complaint that I've had. Shout out my stress ball for the viewers. The same problem that I have had for years now with Celtics fans around and surrounding trades, the topic of trades. Because, man, you guys want everything. You wanted Jimmy Butler. You wanted whoever. You wanted Anthony Davis, right? Every single year we do this. Every offseason we do this. But then when it comes down to actually trading somebody to get those superstar players, you're like, no, we can't do that. No, we can't trade. We can't trade X to get this superstar player. No, we can't do that. He's our favorite. How about you take the bench guy? How about you take the end of our bench plus a second-round pick and then give me Anthony Davis?
Romeo Langford, Carson Edwards, and 3 first-rounders. Deal?
That is what Twitter Celtics GMs want. That's all they just take the bench guys and then a mid-round draft pick, and they're like, this should be plenty to get these guys.
Hey, save some for the rest of the show. We got a long conversation to have about that. Let's not spoil anything yet.
Okay, we can get into that. But first, for episode number 200, our friends, our guys, our girls, guys, we have been with these guys now. It's been a year, I think.
Something like that.
Our friends over at Manscaped. Guys, did you fill out your bracket, and is it being busted by Oral Roberts? Which, speaking of which, the tweet that made me laugh out loud this week was, Oral Roberts, please, call me Blow Bob. I thought that was so funny. It's probably not that funny, but I thought that was so funny. There's somebody in the comments.
There's the 26-year-old coming out of you. Good job.
And then somebody commented, Oral Roberts was my father. I thought that whole exchange was so funny.
Just do the ad read.
So anyway, did you guys fill out your brackets? They're probably completely busted. I know a lot of people were banking on Illinois. Our sponsors, Manscaped, They're the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Want to remind you to do so. To fill out your brackets that you've probably already filled out. Their precision-engineered tools for your family jewels will help you turn that Kentucky Wildcat in your pants into a South Carolina Gamecock. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. We have an exclusive offer for my college basketball fans. 20% off with free shipping with the code CouchGuy20. Talked about this a million times, Al. Al, you still here? Is your camera just off? Hello.
I'm here. I had to recover from the joke and make sure that I could collect myself for a second.
I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't alone here. We've talked about this a million times, man. I've clipped my nutsack when I was younger. I thought you had to use scissors when you were doing your manscaping. Boy, was I wrong, because I made a big time mistake. So much of a mistake, I don't even think I've told this part yet. I told my buddy, hey, this is how you do it. You use these scissors. He ran into the same problem. He was like, you motherfucker. Listen, you don't want to be using scissors. You want to be using the Lawnmower 3.0. Guys, Manscaped has created the best ball hair trimmer ever, the Lawnmower 3.0. Their trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. In addition, this trimmer comes with an LED light for a more precise shave and is waterproof to make your shower shave clean and easy. That line trips me up every time. The Lawnmower 3.0 comes inside their brand new Perfect Package 3.0, which is the MVP of men's grooming kits. The Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0 also includes the Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant, and moisturizer. Guys, speaking of sweaty and stinky balls, I'm going golfing this week. You better believe I'm going to be wearing these deodorants down there to keep things nice and fresh and unsticky. I am thankful for their Crop Reviver. This product, along with the Crop Preserver, is the ultimate defense for sweating, smelling, and sticking. Manscaped threw in 2 free gifts into their perfect package: a pair of high-performance Manscaped boxer briefs that'll keep your junk feeling fresh all day, and a travel shed bag to store all of your grooming goodies. Manscaped has also partnered with the GOAT, Alex Caruso, and the Testicular Cancer Society to bring awareness to testicular cancer, men's health, and early cancer detection. Manscaped is committed to raising awareness for the most common form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35 and giving support for fighters, survivors, and families impacted by testicular cancer as part of their We Save Balls initiative. Guys, get 20% off with free shipping with the code CouchGuy20 at Manscaped.com. Join the Manscaped movement and start taking care of your balls today. Again, listen up. Take 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped.com using promo code CouchGuy20. Be the best ball handler this year with Manscaped.
Oh, and by the way,
yes,
little cologne right here. I don't know if this was in the ad read, but this box, let me tell you something. Isn't this beautiful?
I didn't get any cologne.
Well, you might want to talk to Manscaped about that. Wait a minute. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that craftsmanship.
That looks amazing. I didn't get any cologne.
I'll tell you right now, too. Smells excellent. So if you want to use,
smell good.
They do. 20% off and free shipping with code CouchGuy20, and you could be smelling great for that person.
I'm rattled.
You might be going on a date with.
I'm rattled. I didn't get one. Is that why your camera's off? Did you go get it?
Well, part of it was that I was laughing, and yes, the other part was I did get the cologne because I had to show it off because Manscaped, great products.
I'm bummed. I'm not gonna call out our guy that we've been working with for the past year. But hey, man.
But you're calling him out. It's okay.
Come on. I'm not gonna throw any names out there, but come on. CouchGuy20, Manscaped.com. All right. So this is basically going to be like a big-time NBA trade deadline show, or at least Celtics-wise. So some news on the Orlando Magic Boston Celtics front. It's not necessarily Vucevic. Can't believe I got that first shot. Who's I guess favored to land with the Celtics right now. Aaron Gordon has decided that he wanted to be traded from Orlando. He's requested a trade, and the Celtics are now considered front runners in the Gordon sweepstakes. Now, guys, this is where things come in. Aaron Gordon, great player, right? Phenomenal. You love him on the Boston Celtics, especially with Rob Williams developing into what he is. He's developing into a legit big man. You might have a legit center there for you. who can start for you. You bring in Aaron Gordon to play next to him. My God. What a starting five. Think about that starting five right there, Al.
Kemba, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Aaron Gordon, Robert Williams. Sign me up.
That's a starting five that fucks.
Sign me up, Quags. Now here's a little tidbit, and I'm sure we're going to get into this name, but this is something I saw earlier on Twitter. Adam Kaufman. You follow Adam Kaufman? Do you know who he is?
Of course. He's been on the show.
Adam Kaufman. Didn't know you were on the show. Sorry, Adam. But he put out a poll earlier today, and he said at this point, because he wanted to see something, who would you rather trade right now? Marcus Smart or Robert Williams? Do you want to guess the percentages there, Quags, on Smart and Williams?
If it's not overwhelmingly Marcus Smart, I'm going to puke.
It's not overwhelming, but it was about 60-40 Marcus Smart.
And that is good. Hear me out. I love Marcus Smart. And by my tweets lately, you might not think that. But when you search them, especially our friends over at Small State Big Takes, I don't know which one tweeted this because they're all over the map. I always forget who's who. I think Ollie's the golf emoji.
Yeah, Ollie is.
I know he loves golf, but everybody else, I forget what their logo is.
I'll tell you right now, if it's a Celtics tweet, 99% it's going to be Mike Gilligan. 99%.
Okay. Damn it, dude. The stress ball just blew up on me.
Live content, folks. Look at this.
my girlfriend's going to be pissed. That was hers. Oops.
Sorry, Amanda.
Yeah, no. So listen, again, I love Marcus Smart. I do. But how many winning plays can you have? Because that's all you hear. You hear about the winning plays. You hear about the grit. You hear about the offensive charge that he takes every once in a while. But then they lose. They lose the basketball game. We're like, don't worry, though. Marcus Smart took a charge under the basket.
Yeah,
sick.
That's what we love to see.
Right. So actually, some guy I used to work with, I meant to text him today and tell him that that I'm going to use this tweet today. But I got to pull it up right now. But shout out to Brett Murphy.
Okay.
Brett Murphy. This guy is by far probably the biggest Celtics fan that I know about, that I'm friends with. This guy lives and breathes Celtics. He will talk all the shit he wants. And he came out, oh my God, did I not favorite you, animal?
Oh boy. Quags is losing it, folks. He's losing it live on air.
Listen, very tired today.
I know. Tuesdays are my long day too. I understand completely.
And dude, and you know what? And oh my God, here's the thing. This animal doesn't just use his name on Twitter. So this is going to be very difficult to find. But anyway, while I search for this, here's the thing. I understand he's great defensively. He's a great locker room guy. We love Marcus Smart. In Boston, what's the one thing you love? You love grit. You love fight. And that's the definition of Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart is the definition of a Boston beloved athlete. We love him. We do. But if you're gonna, and this is something that people have to remember, okay? In order to get a good player that is gonna actually make a change, you got to trade somebody that's going to hurt.
Yes, you do. And the thing is, you think about the money situation for a second, too. Let's think about this. This year, Marcus Smart is owed right around $13 million. Next year, $14 million. Aaron Gordon this year is owed $18 million, and next year, $16 million. Wouldn't you rather take an opportunity on a guy that's getting paid $3 to $4 million more that fills a need that you actually could use? Because how many guards do the Celtics have on this team? Marcus Smart, love him. You love him. I love him. A lot of people love him. But at this point, would it be worth it to get Aaron Gordon in the fold to try to make a winning move that you've been needing to make?
No, because you don't know. Because you don't want to win basketball games. No, I'm with it. You don't want to win basketball games.
Not with a 20-21 record right now. I guess not.
And so that's the thing. Like we're looking at the way this team is built right now, right? And we're watching this team lose night in and night out. You don't want to trade Jaylen Brown, which 100% you shouldn't trade Jaylen Brown. I love him. He's my favorite player on this team. Jason Tatum is a superstar in this league. Rob Williams is developing into a legit big man. Kemba Walker's Kemba Walker. I think he's going to come along. I think he's going to get better again. He had a pretty bad injury. You throw Aaron Gordon into that lineup, you're legit. You are legit. But to get a player who is going to actually make a difference in your lineup, you're going to have to trade somebody that you don't want to trade. Remember, it didn't work out the way that we hoped. But nobody wanted to trade Isaiah Thomas.
No.
Nobody wanted to trade it. But then it was Kyrie Irving. And at the time, Kyrie Irving was, we were pumped.
You make that trade, and let's face it, and be honest about this. If you could make that trade again, would you make that trade again?
Oh, yes.
For the talent, yes. And we both know that. But the thing is that Boston, you know what it is too, Quags? It's the fact that, and I hate to bring it to another sport, but after Tom Brady left the Patriots, do you realize how many Boston athletes have left that were so beloved? So if another one leaves, it's just like your heart can, it does. No, you're right.
You know my thoughts on Mookie Betts.
And I love Mookie Betts too. I loved him. But
yeah,
it was
right. And me and you were about the same thoughts on that trade.
Yeah, it was the right thing to do. But going back to it now, back to Marcus Smart, he's been a Boston guy since he got drafted back in, I think it was 2015. Like, I get it. I understand that. But guess what? You have a chance to improve your basketball team, and you need to do it. Because guess what? Miami's looking to get Kyle Lowry. The Bucks have been making moves all year. The Nets are looking like a legitimate title threat. The 76ers, they're probably going to
That's an understatement about the Nets.
Yes, it is a big understatement. But the point I'm trying to make is that all these teams are doing what you should have been doing the whole time. Make moves to get yourself better. Period.
Yes. And if you don't, you're just going to – if the Celtics don't make a move to make their team better and get a superstar like Aaron Gordon, I think it's fair to call Aaron Gordon a superstar. If you don't make those moves, we're just going to continue watching what we've been watching. A team that squeaks into the Eastern Conference Finals and then loses. Or if they do make it to the finals, they're going to get smoked. The way the team is constructed right now, they don't stand a chance. They don't stand a chance in hell. Now, I found the Twitter account. And he actually, this is a different tweet, but it's along the same lines. And again, this guy loves the Celtics. He has been all about the Celtics for as long as I've known him. He knows more about the Celtics than anybody I know. He writes out a story. It's also very funny. Okay. The year is 2028. Marcus Smart leads a spirited speech for his team during halftime. Smart with a beautiful steal late in the fourth. Boston is behind this man. He takes a three. He takes a 3-on-1 pull-up off the side of the rim and out of bounds. Refs to the monitor. Celtics down 14.
That's pretty good.
But the one I did favorite. How come it didn't pop in my favorites? So this is the one that I actually wanted to read. The year is 2026. Marcus Smart leads the Celtics with 10 points, 3 assists, 4 turnovers, and is shooting 15% from 3. Smart dives on the floor for a loose ball. Celtics ball. The Garden is going nuts. Milwaukee 133, Boston 97. Because that's what we want, right? That's it's funny, but that's a real picture. That's what we've been dealing with.
I know. Now, here's the thing. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that this is finally the year that the Celtics make a move at the deadline?
I think it has to be.
But is it the year they actually do it?
I do think so, because I think Danny felt the heat about, a month ago when he was just getting dragged.
Yep.
I think Danny felt the heat.
So let me ask
you. And the fact that you also have two first. The rumor is here. The report is that the Rockets offered 2 first-round picks, and the Celtics matched that. So the fact that you're matching 2 first-round picks means that Danny is serious.
Yeah.
And this report here that I'm reading, Celtics trade rumors, Boston favored to land Aaron Gordon with Marcus Smart potentially headed to Orlando. 2 first-round picks and Marcus Smart. If that's all it takes you to get you Aaron Gordon, you do it. You fucking do it.
And not only that, right? There's another move that I want to talk about really quick. There's another player I want to talk about in the Celtics. Tristan Thompson. That's a name that's come out there. So reports had it today. I think it was Kevin O'Connor of The Ringer said that Tristan Thompson is not getting along with the other Celtics in the locker room. No specific reasons. But you can kind of speculate a little bit, right? He had a little bit of a reputation coming in. He's a veteran guy, kind of hard-nosed. Doesn't really fit in with this Celtics dynamic. So I have myself a little trade theory. I want to see what you would think about this. Call up Oklahoma City.
Oh God, I know exactly where this is going.
Hey, listen, it's not a bad idea when you think about it. It's not a bad idea when you think about it.
I don't think it is either.
Bring back old friend Al Horford. Get Horford back from Oklahoma City. Send Thompson over. Maybe you throw in another pick, maybe like a second-round pick, and make that deal happen. Then, not only do you bring in Aaron Gordon, but you bring in a guy off your bench in Al Horford. Or if you want to start him and start, I'm just saying if you hypothetically had this, you had Aaron Gordon and Al Horford, and then you had Daniel Tice and Robert Williams off your bench. Doesn't that deepen your team that much more?
Yes, it does. And I love that trade. I would love to see Al Horford back. I would love to. And you know what? Al Horford's sister would too, because she loved being a part of the Boston Celtics.
She did. She still talks about being a part of the Celtics.
She loved it.
I think she still does a show with, like, I don't know if it's CLNS. I don't think CLNS, but it's.
She was with CLNS for a while.
And she still does her show. So, I mean, you know, the point that I'm trying to make is that Al Horford's a guy that he had a career resurgence in Oklahoma City. He didn't work out in Philly last year, and we saw that. But the thing is, you bring Al Horford back into this fold. You bring back a leader. You bring back a veteran presence. You bring back a rebounder. And honestly, let me ask you this. Who would you rather have shoot a three-pointer? Al Horford or Daniel Tice?
Al Horford was a three-point machine.
Yes, so Al Horford. So you answered my question, and that is the correct answer. So if that's the case, why not just give it a shot? Get Tristan Thompson out of here. I think he was on a 2-year deal anyway. The second year was like an option year. So just get him out of here. He's not going to work out. Get him out of here.
So this is a tweet here, and this isn't the original tweet from. Oh, you know what it was? It was a podcast. So here is a clip of the podcast. Adam Kaufman actually tweeted this out. This is the podcast from Kevin O'Connor where he talks about Tristan Thompson's situation in Boston.
And I'm going to make up a word. Outness on Tristan Thompson is unbelievable. Like they've got to get rid of him.
What do you mean by that? Like, what made you feel that?
I feel like that has been a disaster. He is resented.
Is it something you heard? He's resented.
Yeah. Well, look, you know he's in the safety protocols again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like nothing gets reported on this. From what I was told, he won't stop going out.
I see.
So he just goes out, and then they, of course he's breaking the protocols. And so, like, because he's not, like, testing positive for this stuff, right? You're not getting the contact trace.
So Tristan Thompson is not loved in the Boston Celtics locker room, which, if he goes, fine, because he really hasn't been that fun to watch anyway. No. He really hasn't. No. And that just means more time for Rob Williams right now. And yeah, you're right. Hey, if you can get Al Horford back, I love Al, man. I would love to see Al back here. You know how beautiful it would be to win a championship with Al Horford? It was meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Al Horford winning a championship in Boston is better than Gordon Hayward winning a championship in Boston, because Al Horford fully bought in.
Yes, he did.
He loved it here.
He really did. He chose the money in Philly. Who can blame him? It was probably going to be his last contract in the NBA anyway. His last big one anyway.
And I wouldn't be shocked if it was one of those situations where once he got here, his game stepped up. Because he's having a pretty good year in OKC. Am I wrong?
I think so. I can double check that. But the thing is, right, it cannot have been worse than Philly, because Philly was a bad fit for him. They want him to play in a different system. They didn't want him. I don't even think they want him to play center. I think they want him to be a power forward.
I think he was a forward. Well, yeah, because Embiid was center.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, when you have one of the game's best big men. Oh, yeah, Al Horford this year in 27 games, 14 points and 7 rebounds a game.
Right. I like having Al Horford back in Boston, especially once the fans get back. The fans are getting back soon.
Very soon.
Like in days, aren't they?
I think it's early April.
I felt like it was around now. Maybe it is early April. But whatever the case is, Al Horford, the fans would love to have him back. And if you add Al Horford and Aaron Gordon to this team, I feel totally different. But the way the team's constructed right now, absolutely not.
You're not getting past the first round with this team. There's no way.
You can't beat anybody. They lost to the Grizzlies last night.
You're looking at in the first round, Quags. First round, you're looking at either Brooklyn or you're looking at Milwaukee.
You're gonna get stomped.
You're gonna get your stuff pumped by both of those teams. Philly, you feel like, okay, they've had Philly's number. They match up well with Philly, like whatever. But if you have to play Brooklyn or Milwaukee, oh boy, good luck. You better get that 5 seed. At least get the 4 or the 5 to avoid that in the first round. Then if you get Philly in the second round, then maybe. But that's
if you add Gordon and Horford, both, like I love that Tristan Thompson theory that you've got. I love that theory. Trading him for Al Horford. That would be beautiful.
It could work.
It could. And again, he would love being back here.
I know.
But those are the moves that you have to see made. It sounds like Tristan Thompson's on his way out the door. And it sounds like Marcus Smart is too. I really think that this is going to happen. I think
too.
2 first-round picks and Marcus Smart gets you Aaron Gordon back in return. And I think I do think I know I was giving Celtics fans a lot of shit earlier, but I think a lot of them have decided to change their mind.
I think so too. I'm with you there.
Yeah, you have to. You have to change your mind here, or you just want to see the team continue to be what they've been.
You got a shout out, by the way, on a fellow Couch Guy Sports podcast, Bernie and Chris by our own Matt Burnett. He thought your idea of trading someone to get someone was what people needed to hear. So congratulations. I'm giving you an ego boost. You're welcome.
Hell yeah. Beautiful. All right. That was our NBA trade deadline talk. Now, we're going to roll it over to the Red Sox for a few minutes, and then we're going to wrap up the show a little early since it's just us. And honestly, news isn't that hot. Red Sox season starts next week.
Ooh.
And this team, I think, is going to surprise some people. I don't think they're going to be great, but I think people – yeah, I talked to a lot of fans who are just they're all still bitter about Mookie Betts. They remember what happened last year.
Get over it.
Get over Mookie Betts, first of all. He's gone. Sorry, it happens. We're just that nobody acknowledges how good the pieces are they got back.
I know.
Like you really did get Dustin Pedroia's potential replacement in Jeter Downs, and you got Alex Verdugo, who's a damn good player who costs under $1 million right now for the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Connor Wong, so you're a potential future catcher. But people got to remember, I was surprised that Tanner Huck didn't make the team.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to anchor the rotation at number 5. But then you look at the rest of the rotation, you got Rodriguez, Evaldi, Pivetta, Richards.
And
Perez, which isn't great, to be honest. It's probably the weakest point of the team. I think the bullpen's actually okay, but the starting rotation is ass, I think, when you look at it like that. But here's the thing. It's a classic Chaim Bloom move to put together a starting rotation. Or it's classic, I'd say, Tampa Bay move to put together a starting rotation and have it be filled with guys that have potential. And if they all click at the same time, people got to remember Garrett Richards, when he first came up, I think it was 2014 maybe. He was supposed to be really good, and then injuries got him. So he's got a classic lane baseball term. He's got the stuff. So Garrett Richards could surprise people. Pivetta, I think, could also surprise people. Martin Perez is what Martin Perez is. He's really good sometimes. Other times he's okay. Mm-hmm. Erod, I'm very high on all the time. Evaldi is somebody else. A lot of people are much higher on Nathan Evaldi than I am. I think Evaldi is kind of like Perez. When he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's very hittable.
That's a fair assessment. That's very
right.
Fair.
But then once you get Chris Sale back, you bump one of those guys into the bullpen potentially.
Probably Pivetta would be my guess.
Probably Pivetta. And I wouldn't be shocked to see Tanner Huck knock somebody out of the rotation at some point this season, because Tanner Huck last year looked fucking awesome.
Not only that, he's added MPH on his fastball.
Right.
He's up to 98, I think, now.
Tanner Huck is going to be, I think, if If not your ace, your number 2 in the staff of the future.
No. Your future ace is at Vanderbilt right now, and his name is Jack Leiter.
Do you think he's going to drop to 4?
He could listen. Kumar Rocker's probably going to go 1, and then you just got to hope that somehow, some way. Actually,
You got to hope. He's been lighting it up.
I know he threw a no-hitter the other day. Did you see that?
Yeah, he was electric. Didn't he strike out? What was it? 18?
Yeah,
16?
He had at least 16. He might have even had 17. So let's take a look at the MLB draft order, because this could be really telling, and this is a good conversation that we could have. Because when you look at the actual draft, you have Pittsburgh going number 1. We know Pittsburgh is going to try to get pitching, especially since you kind of lost Garrett Cole a while ago.
And Rocker is there. They'll take Rocker.
Rocker's going to go number 1. By the way, the Rangers have the number 2 pick. They might go with the shortstop at a Jesuit prep, Jordan Lawler, kid from Dallas. There's your number 2 pick. Number 3, the Detroit Tigers. They could potentially go catcher. And there's a kid out of Miami named Adrian Del Castillo that a lot of people are high on. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just saying, if those 3 picks fall in line and Jack Leiter's there at 4,
oh man,
you better take him.
And he's one of those kids who has so much talent. He's like, it's not long before he's on the major league roster. He's there quick.
Correct.
He's there in like a year or 2.
There's also the kid Jaden Hill out of LSU too. That is another pitcher that maybe the Rangers would consider taking, maybe the Tigers would consider taking instead of Jack Leiter. I don't know. But again, Rocker's going to be at least probably number 1 to Pittsburgh. After that, you just got to get a little lucky.
It's a crapshoot. It's honestly like, I would love that, but I would love that just like I would love the Patriots somehow to trade up and grab Justin Fields, which that rumor is hot right now. If the Patriots trade up, we haven't even talked about this. If the Patriots trade up to number 3, Trevor Lawrence 1, Zach Wilson 2. If they even decide to go number 2. Listen, if the Patriots can trade up and get either Zach Wilson or Justin Fields,
yeah, let's just segue to that, because the Red Sox, they start next week. That's great. We'll have more Red Sox coverage as the season goes along.
You know what? Let's finish off. Yeah, let's finish off.
I like that.
Let's finish off with this.
Good transition, Quags.
You're right. Thank you. Justin Fields. If the Patriots can get their hands on Justin Fields, I am going to 100% be okay with Cam Newton being here. Justin Fields or Zach Wilson. Because I think Cam Newton will be a good mentor for one of these guys. And it makes sense.
I do too. But here's something else too. The Jaguars, are going to take Trevor Lawrence number 1 unless they're dumb. The Jets, and I've been hearing some speculation, little birdies, tweeting around. The Jets could go offensive line help, maybe. Maybe.
If the Jets do that, they're so dumb.
It's the Jets. I mean, they could realistically think Sam Darnold is our guy.
They landed Corey Davis, right?
They got Corey Davis, yep, as a receiver now. 3 years for $26 million, I'm pretty sure was the numbers. So you have a legitimate threat to throw to now. You built up – who was the lineman they had last year that was really good, that was out against the Patriots?
Oh, I forget.
You know who I'm talking about, though.
I forget. Yeah, I forget his name. They drafted the kid a couple years ago with the braces. I forget his name. He's the one who sneezed on TV and then said "bless you" and then thanked himself.
Mekhi Becton. That's his name.
Oh no, that is just not who I'm talking about. I don't think. But he's I mean the Jets. I don't think the Jets' offensive line is really that bad.
It's not, but it can be better. That's the thing. And the kid from Oregon, I forget his name off the top of my head, but I mean, I'm just saying the Jets could very well jet here, Quags. They could.
If the Patriots somehow can trade all the way up to number 3 and get one of these guys, I would be ecstatic. I'm very high on Justin Fields. I would like to see Justin Fields drafted by the Patriots, but to be honest with you, I would like to see most of these guys drafted by the Patriots. I just want to have a sense of the future here. And just because it's Bill Belichick, a part of me feels like it's not going to happen because he doesn't draft quarterbacks round 1, which then again, when you say that, you're like, okay, well, he hasn't had to for the past 20 years.
Which is fine, but you still were going to look for his replacement anyway.
Right. Yeah, no, yeah, he should have. Well, maybe. I don't know. This is a very good quarterback draft early. So if the Patriots can squeeze in and get Justin Fields, I mean, I'm a victim of the edits. I'm a victim of the edits, man. I saw a Photoshop of Justin Fields in a Patriots uniform, and I got the tingles. I was in. I was in. I think I still am. We'll end it there.
Yes, good idea.
Couch Guy Sports Podcast, episode number 200. Nick Quaglia, Al Nahigian, Jared Scally will be back next week, potentially. And I guess we'll talk to you then, guys. Rate and subscribe on iTunes. Rate and subscribe on the YouTube channel, or just subscribe on the YouTube channel. And also keep an eye out for future YouTube shows that are coming shortly. Nick Quaglia, Al Nahigian, guys, we will be back next week. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening.
See you guys.